Hey folks, how you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce for the American Liberty Radio Network. How are ya? AmericanLibertyRadio.com. There's a ton of stuff going on, folks. Oh my God. What can I say? There is just so much going on. Excuse me. Wow. Hey, I'm going to be talking with Nick Tucker tonight on Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker, so look out for that podcast. Are we living in a simulation is what we're going to be talking about. And lots of things happen from day to day. I mean, you know this. Lots of things, You get up, you're not expecting certain things, and certain things happen, and you're kind of like, oh man, what do I do now? Or some things happen, and you're going, right on, that worked out really well, And so you have all of that going on. You have that thought of, wow, things are really moving in various ways. Okay? I say that because there's so much diversity, and I use that term loosely. I use that word loosely. There's so much diversity in the United States that we seem to think that our mainstream media, our propaganda media, all of that is what we need to listen to, and they're, somewhat correct or, whatever. The only thing is they don't cross that line into getting into certain areas that others might think, oh my God, NBC just went conspiratorial. You know what I mean? So there's that to contend with as well when it comes in regards to propaganda media. And they do, spread propaganda. It is there. That's what they do. That's their job. Okay. Now, when you look at information, or you look for information, or you have information, question is it true? Is it accurate? Is it as simple as putting 1 + 1 together and coming up with 2? I mean, this is something that really is important, because how accurate is their reporting? I'm going to say for this reason, I'm going to say because the propaganda media is bought and paid for by Washington, D.C., bought and paid for by Media Matters, George Soros, those people, I'm going to say it's not accurate at all. Okay. I shouldn't say only. The things that I have learned over the years is never believe anything coming from the mainstream or propaganda media. Never, ever, 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 ever. Okay? Alternative media, independent media has got it right. That's just the bottom line. They have it right. When I say right, they're not as accurate as some, and, but we're the only people that will tell you, hey, wait a minute, I think we've overlooked something. Let's go back and check it out. Let's, myself personally, I'll be the first in line to admit when I'm wrong. I mean, nobody else does that. You don't see Rachel Maddow on MSNBC do that, do you? You don't hear Mika Brzezinski on Morning Joe admit she was wrong. No, you don't. Okay. These are far left liberal propagandists that don't care one bit about the truth or the facts. Okay. They don't. So on that note, let me give you some truth. Let me give you some facts. And the fact is, Steve Bannon is out. Steve Bannon loses security clearance. Remember him? That whole fiasco going on with, people screaming and yelling about him being part of Trump, and nobody liked him because of his background and all this, that, and the other thing. He's out. He's done. He's gone. Okay. The one thing that I've noticed about Washington, D.C., when you get the right people in there, when you get the people in there that know what they're doing, that want to, borrowing the phrase, make America great again, you're going to see a lot of people get booted. You're going to see a lot of people get the boot, get their pink slips, and head for the door. That's just the way it is. Okay? That's just the way it is. Because far too long we've had these far left liberal propagandists, these far left liberal political, people in Washington, D.C. for far too long. And wait. Don't say, what about George Bush? Either one of them. Don't say, what about Bill Clinton? Don't say, what about, because here's the thing. It doesn't matter who is in the White House, in the Oval Office. Congress is the one that manipulates the whole situation to benefit their benefactors, to benefit their investors, to benefit their people that basically paid for their offices. Okay, is what I'm saying. So now we have people in there that are kind of, you got rhinos in there, you got, Republican in name only, you got linos in there, libertarians in name only, you've got dinos in there, Democrats in name only. But basically what you have is a plethora of people in Congress and in Washington, D.C., scampering around, trying to keep their head on their shoulders because they know that Donald Trump is he's cleaning up the birdcage. He's, throwing out the trash. He's draining the swamp, whatever euphemism you want to use. He's doing what he said he's going to do, and people are pissed off about it. Oh, you get a Democrat in office and people are going to go, yay, we now have a country that we can be proud of. Remember Michelle Obama saying that, she's proud to be an American. Remember that? Democrats are nothing more than closeted, if not, I'm going to say this. Democrats are basically communists in disguise. Okay? Long before, World War I, this is the facts. Democrats are nothing more than communists in disguise. And now they're showing their true colors, and Trump has just exposed them for who they are. And so did the Republican Party, obviously. But now, they're just running around trying to get everything to, they're trying to cover their butt is what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. I'm just looking at some headlines here. Obama's IRS chief who dodged impeachment continues under Trump. If we saw some pressure from Congress, I think Koskinen, there we go, would be gone. Koskinen? But anyway, yeah. Oh, he'll be gone in a few weeks, I'm pretty sure. So here's the perfect answer, the perfect point that I want to make about the Democrats. And Lou Dobbs said something very, very distinct. And Dan Lyman over at Infowars.com says, Lou Dobbs, vulgar Democrat thugs driving their party into oblivion. Ignorant haters happily gutting their party, he says. Lou Dobbs has declared that the imploding Democratic Party are, quote, so far on the wrong side of history, it's likely they won't recover for years, unquote. Quote, the Democratic Party is out of excuses for what has become its ugly, nasty partisan thuggery, unquote, Dobbs said during his broadcast on Monday night. Quote, the new DNC chairman, Tom Perez, stands as an example demonstrating that Democratic leaders now insist on going to the lowest common denominator in their political and in their politics and in their tactics, unquote. Quote, how long, how ignorant must Dems be to hurl expletives at the President of the United States? Dobbs was referring to Perez's unhinged tirade at a rally hosted by New Jersey Working Families Alliance last week. Quote, Donald Trump, you don't understand our values, unquote, Perez rallied. Quote, you didn't win the election, unquote. Quote, we have a bully in Washington, D.C., in Washington, in the White House, unquote. Perez, who is Barack Obama's former Secretary of Labor, also claimed that Republicans, quote, don't give a crap about people, unquote. I'm going to put the rest of that on American Liberty Radio Podcasts on Facebook. The one thing that I can say from my particular perspective is that I know for a fact that people don't really give a crap. That takes care of about 40% of the people who are following the Democrats, the Republicans, the Libertarians, the Independents, the nonpartisan people like myself. 40% of the people don't really give a crap. And then that's a number I just pulled out of the air, but I may be off about 4 or 5 points on either side, you know. So when I look at a person who is vehemently against peace, freedom, liberty, and security against this country, I know who they are. They can put a D after their state initials or before their state initials on their name, and I know exactly who they are. They're communist. They're communist. The McCarthy era is still around in some, form or fashion. It hasn't gone away. The process by which we call out these communists. That is still hanging around Washington, D.C. Okay. When you look at the very nature of politics, what is it? What is the very nature of politics? Do we have? Here, let me do this. I always like doing this too as well. Let me go here. Let me go to dictionary.com. Yes, go to dictionary.com, and then I'm going to put in politics. I think I did this once before, but let's do it again. The science or art of political government. Okay, that's kind of vague. The practice or profession of conducting political affairs. That's even vague itself. Get this, here's the sixth definition. Use of intrigue or strategy in obtaining any position of power or control, as in business, university, etc. There you go. Play politics is an idiom, and it says to engage in political intrigue, take advantage of a political situation or issue, resort to partisan politics, exploit a political system or political relationships. And the second one is to deal with people in an opportunistic, manipulative, or devious way as for job advancement. That one right there, those two under idioms. I'm going to put all that on the American Liberty Radio podcast page. Okay. I'm going to say this, that if let me type this and I'll tell you what I want to tell you. Let me see here. There it is. It's posted. I'm going to say this. When you look at the very nature of a person who is engaging in political, in the political arena, in these political games, in this global chess game, when you look at the very nature of that type of person, you will see one thing and one thing only. You will see a person who has been indoctrinated with nefarious terms and ideologies where they themselves don't even know they're being manipulated. That's number one. The second thing you'll see is someone who will engage in fakery and thuggery and they'll do any manipulation. They'll engage in manipulation of a current system, current environment to get their way. That's what politicians do. We label them politicians, but people like Rand Paul, Ron Paul, people like that, these people are human beings, and they have a life outside of the, walls of Congress. So these people are labeled with the word politician, but they really aren't. They understand what they're... You know what Congress is? Let me break all of that down for you. Let me break all this down for you. You know what Congress is? Yeah, it's a bunch of people getting together, talking about how things are going to work out and what we can do and how many budgets we can, bring in under budget, all this, I mean, that's what they do. Seems like they do that in business, don't they? They have an hour and a half long meetings as to how you can conduct business, where you're going to go, where you're going to send your salespeople, and yada, 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 right? Same damn thing. Same thing. Doesn't matter. Washington, D.C. is a corporation. The United States of America Incorporated is the bigger umbrella of the whole thing, okay? But you've got your central office, your central district office in Washington, D.C., with all the with all the corporate heads from all the other businesses, the other states in this one room discussing how things are going to go. That's Congress. Oh, but wait, there's more. On the outside of that, you have your investors in this business. Those are the Bilderberg Group, the George Soros types, the Rockefellers, the Ford Foundation, the, Rothschilds, shall I go on? Then you have other people there that are trying to, weasel their way in to get the best deals possible. We call them special interest groups and lobbyists. Shall I go on, or did you get the point? You get the drift, right? You understand what's going on, right? Excuse me. This is what's happening. There's no other way of looking at this except for knowing that this is how things work. There's no other way of looking at it. I don't care, I don't care where you stand on your political soapbox. The bottom line is that's how it operates. That's how it operates. That's you have no say in it at all. Your votes don't count. They want your money to continue their nefarious activities. They want to illegally collect money from you. You know what the IRS and the Federal Reserve is? The Federal Reserve, you can equate that with the Godfather. of a mafia, mafia, Don and everything. You get that. That's what you can describe it as, because they have the money. They can just come to the Treasury and say, we need a couple of $1 million. And the Treasury's going, but no, you don't get, we want a couple of $1 million. And the Treasury's like, okay, boss. You know what the IRS is? The leg breakers. They're the enforcers. They go out and they enlist certain other people in their areas to go out and collect money for them. Okay? That's pretty much what they are. And those two things are working together. You've seen a tennis match? Pretty much that's what's happening. Washington, D.C. is saying they want to stop corruption and all this crime and blah, blah, blah. And then the criminals are going, yeah, but who's the biggest criminals in the country? So things roll on as they are. Back and forth. Some get arrested, some don't. This kind of thing. So I'm trying to break it down in the most simplest way possible for you to understand. But the very nature of a politician is manipulation. Complete and total manipulation. You've been to, you've gone to car lots, haven't you? You've talked to people at car lots, haven't you? You've talked to the people on the phone trying to sell you stuff, right? Well, next time that happens, turn the tables on them. Next time your politician says, this is what we're going to do, turn the tables on them. Find out what his weaknesses or her weaknesses are and turn the tables on them. The weakness of the general public is that we are greedy, we are selfish, we are self-centered. Some of us are, not most of us. But when you get a slick salesman that understands the psychology of sales, then of course you'll have that person trying to manipulate you out of your dollar. Kind of sounds like the IRS and the Federal Reserve, doesn't it? And the salespeople are in Congress. Right? So, so you've got that to contend with. Okay? You've got that to contend with. The other thing that we have to understand about politicians is not only, they're snake oil salesmen. Let me just break that down to you. But the second thing we need to understand about politicians is that they're bought and paid for by other people. Oh, it's not you. Your votes don't count. They never have and they never will. They're bought and paid for by other people. Lobbyists, special interest groups, you can go down the whole list. Their offices that they use in Washington, D.C. are bought and paid for. A congressman makes $174,000 a year. I would love to see that kind of money. You know what I mean? I really would, right? That's the starting salary of a politician, of a congressman in Washington, D.C. Well, maybe not the starting salary, but that's what they make. But when you go in and you're doing your thing, you're expecting $175,000 a year, right? No. What they do is they manipulate the rest of the Congress, the people that bought and paid for those offices that your politician is in. They go out and invest their money in places to where that politician gets a kickback because of certain bills they pass, certain policies they implement, certain things that they do. They have to work for that money. But when they come out of Congress, the ones that play the game usually wind up like Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein and all of that. And they're freaking millionaires. They're millionaires. They go into Congress making $175,000 a year, but if they leave after 4, 8, 12 years, they're freaking millionaires. Why is that? Because of the kickbacks and the corruption. And I mean, Now, currently, President Donald Trump here on the 5th of April, 2017, President Donald Trump is trying to end all of that. See, if I was president, I would just get up in Congress and look out at all the special interest groups and the lobbyists and say, I got 2 words for you. You're fired. Pack your bags and get the hell out of Washington, D.C. We don't need you. Well, who's going to run the country? How many people? No. You know what a lobbyist is? You know what a lobbyist is? Well, I'll tell you this and then I'll go to break. I'll tell you what a lobbyist is. Let's go to dictionary.com again and I'll tell you exactly what their definition of a lobbyist is. Okay, well, if I can spell it. Lobbyist. A person who tries to influence legislation on behalf of a special interest, a member of a lobby. Bum, bum, bum. There you go, putting that up on the American Liberty Radio podcast page on Facebook. And basically, that's what a lobbyist is. And as far as I'm concerned, we don't need them. Okay, we don't. Well, how is anything going to get done if no... Shut up. Pack your crap. Go away. Because we don't need you. Okay? We don't need groups like the immigration advocates that are out there. Basically, they use the word advocate because they're doing something illegal. That's the whole thing. But anyway, I've spent a half hour discussing what Congress is, what a lobbyist is, what a politician is, just to give you some background on what these people are. Okay. Now, there's a handful, probably, let's see, out of 535 congressmen and women that are up there, plus their pages, plus their administration in their offices. Out of 535 congressmen, men and women, there should only be 150. What? Yeah, there should only be 150. I believe there should be 2 representatives in each state, plus the governor. That's it. That's all. And the governor, every 4 months or 6 months, needs to go to Washington, D.C., find out what's going on, come back to their state, tell the people. That's what they should do. There should only be 2 representatives for each state. I don't care what district. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that. 1 state, 2 representatives, including the governor. That's 3 people. Out of 50 states, that's 150 people. Period. End of sentence. Done. We don't need 535 congressmen and women up there, and we sure as hell don't need 535 congressmen and men and women with that are in Congress for a lifetime. Okay, the 40 or 50-year congressman. No. I believe in term limits. I believe everything should change to make it possible for the president to stay for 6 years and be able to run for re-election after that. I believe Congress should be a maximum of 6 years, and they shouldn't run for re-election. Period. This is the bottom line. They shouldn't. That's well, geez, you're not going to get anything done in 6 years. Yeah, you are. Believe me. Look at what Trump has just done in the first 90 some odd days of his administration right now. Look at what he's done. Okay? Seriously. I'm going to go to break, folks. I'll be right back. This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Broadcasting from FEMA Region 8. Sharing the truth one fact at a time, without all the BS. This is the American Liberty Radio Network.
The people of the world are now seeing what the globalists have always intended. They are engaged in a campaign to rid the world of 90% of humanity. They are well on their way of achieving this. But, with the corrupt mainstream media aligning themselves with such diabolical philosophies, the globalists are now being exposed and the people are now seeing them for who they truly are. Thanks for the most part to the independent media revealing the connection of the mainstream media to globalists like George Soros and others who invest and spread disinformation.
Don't say you haven't been warned. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. DistortedReality.podbean.com and Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on American Liberty Radio Network. Sharing the truth one fact at a time, without all the BS. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com.
There's a show that's not afraid to ask questions no one else will ask. Not afraid to say
what no one else will say.
Friday nights at 7 p.m. Listen to Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie, where no topic is off limits. Conspiracy theories, paranormal activities, hoaxes, the unexplained. It's what we talk about. Question everything. Trust no one. Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie. Friday at 7 p.m. on the KCOR Digital Radio Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hello, everybody. This is Brian Lang with Live Truth Radio and TV. You're listening to Wayne S. Pierce with American Liberty Radio.
Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!"
American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Hey folks, how you doing? This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. How are you? Hey folks, just a little shameless self-promotion here. I do voiceover work, so if you want to hire me, I'm available. You can contact me through the email address here at the network, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. If you have any voiceover work that you need done, or you just, hey, I'm here, hire me. Also, if you want to sponsor the network, if you want to advertise on the network, you can, if you want to. That's entirely up to you. You can do that, and I'm not out to break your advertising budget, so go to AmericanLibertyRadio.com, go to the sponsors page. Everything is right there that you want to know. Of course, if you have any questions, just email me. Also, become a patron. Become a patron. There we go. My not enough coffee. There's a link on that sponsors page. Become a patron and drop $1 in the kitty at Patreon and help us keep the lights on around here, folks. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And again, I do voiceovers. Hire me. So anyway. Okay, folks, what do we got? What do we have here? Trump, in his campaign, promised to end Common Core. God, I wish they'd get that piece of crap out of here. Dr. Susan Berry wrote an article for Breitbart today on the 5th of April 2017. Trump returns to campaign promise, quote, "We have to end Common Core," unquote. "We have to bring education more local," says the president. At his CEO Business Town Hall Tuesday, President Donald Trump returned to his campaign promise to end the highly unpopular Common Core standards and once again make education policy the domain of local governments. Quote, "Common Core, I mean, we have to bring education more local," unquote, Trump said at the White House. Quote, "We can't be managing education from Washington," unquote. The president continued and said, quote, "When I go out to Iowa, when I go out to the different states and I talk, they want to run their school programs locally, and they'll do a much better job." And I like the fact of getting rid of Common Core. You know, Common Core to me, we have to end it. We have to bring education local to me. I've always said that. I've always been saying it during the campaign, and we're doing it, unquote. There's read more, so I'm going to put this on the American Liberty Radio podcast. Couple of my family members, actually one of them that I'm thinking about, works in the education field with special needs and, other students as well. And they talk about Common Core being the best thing around. It helps kids, critically think or whatever. You know what? Mama didn't raise no fool. Do you know how I started critically thinking about everything? By going to the shelf in the hallway of my home and grabbing a book. That's what it was. Okay. And when you look at the reading skills and the comprehension skills of our children now I'm going to go back 1975 to 2015. When you look at that period of time, you look at the reading skills and the comprehension skills of the students in both elementary, junior, or middle school or high school, and you will see the definite detrimental effect of our education system in the overseers of our education system in Washington, D.C. When you bring it locally, when you bring it down to the county, to the state, to the local areas, you get better, I think, much better involvement with teachers and parents and other administrators, helping students be able to do what they have to do to excel. I don't believe in this participation award bullcrap. I believe that if one person out of 100 excelled, that person needs to get the award, not everybody else just for being there. That's me. Okay? Common Core needs to be kicked to the curb, needs to be thrown in the trash, it needs to be thrown at the deepest parts of the ocean. It's a piece of crap. Have you ever tried reading stuff? You can go into places that have, stores in your town have, stuff for teachers. Go to those stores. I think Barnes & Noble has a few of them as well in some sections there. But you'll see these things, Common Core, whatever, or Common Core for Dummies or whatever, and you'll see. Have you ever tried reading any of that? They've got problems in the books that you're trying to figure out, and they show you how to figure them out. Folks, let me just break all that down for you. 1 + 1 = 2. That's it. 1 + 1 = 2. You keep it that simple. You keep that type of you keep it that simple. Keep it that simple, and you take that type of way of doing things, right? And you use that concept of 1 + 1 = 2. You can break down anything in the most simplest way possible to find the best answer for the situation you're in. I I've done it, folks. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Everybody, has a different view, different, whatever. Everybody's different. But the outcome is still the same. 1 + 1 = 2. Okay? I mean, that's just the way it is. Okay? So, going off into another road in this political arena. Infowars.com has a New York Post article. Fresh evidence the Russia scandal is a Team Obama operation. Team Obama's Spread the Information initiative certainly broke the spirit of the laws. Do you suspect that the noise over Trump campaign contacts with the Russians is just a political hit arranged by Obama insiders before they left? You got fresh evidence of that Monday with news that then National Security Advisor Susan Rice was behind the unmasking of Trumpites in transcripts of calls with Russian officials. Again, nothing on the public record so far shows that anyone on Team Trump said anything improper on those calls. It's no surprise that U.S. spooks intercept foreign officials' calls, but intelligence community reports don't disclose the names of U.S. citizens on the other end. To get that information, a high official must, but barely does, push to unmask the American's name or names. Bloomberg's Eli Lake now reports that Rice started doing just that last year. That was perfectly legal, but we also know that the Obama administration later changed the classification of the unmasked transcripts and other similar material in order to spread the information as widely as possible within the government. That's going on American Liberty Radio podcast. It says read more. So please do read more, check it out, make your own assessment on that, draw your own conclusions. It never fails, folks. People are gonna see things in a way that they're gonna see things. There's no doubt about that. Everybody does. It's fine. And here's one thing that people do. They say, well, I agree to disagree. Folks, that's a massive cop-out for not accepting the facts. That's a massive cop-out for not accepting the facts, and here's why. Somebody in the room has to be right, and somebody in the room has to be wrong. Period. End of sentence. That's just the way it is. 1 + 1 = 2. Okay. Remember that concept. It's going to help you out. Am I wrong? I have been in the past. But when people accuse me of being wrong, I have to say, well, what did I overlook that makes you tell me that I'm wrong? They can't describe what I've overlooked because they don't know. They just hear what I'm saying. They just see what I'm looking at, and they say, you're wrong, they're wrong, whatever. Well, here's my reply to them and to those out there listening that are saying that crap about me and everybody else. Prove it. No. Shut your damn mouth and prove yourself correct. If you have information that is 100% accurate, 100% truthful, 100% factual, present it. And if you don't, and if you can't, shut up. I know I'm harsh, but that's just the way it is. I say it like it is. Mama didn't raise no fool and Grandma taught me better. My dad taught me how to stick up for myself, and my brother took care of me as far as watching my back until I got older and was able to take care of myself. Now, there's always going to be wrong and right. There's always going to be the left, the right, the independent, the non-partisan. There's always going to be these little groups of people. Always, because your own personal political philosophy doesn't line up with certain parties. Well, let me tell you something. They don't have to. No, wait a minute. Hold on to your shorts. None of your political ideas have to line up with anyone or any group or any type of political ideology. It doesn't have to. I'm nonpartisan. I believe we should not ever have any political parties in America right now. None. Zero. Zip. Zilch. None. Get rid of them all. By the way, did you know that there is a Socialist Party of America and a Communist Party of America and a Nazi Party of America? Yeah, Nazi Party of America. Go look that one up. Did you know that? But they don't have a say in how this government works. But still, behind the scenes, they're manipulating certain people locally to try to get them into a political position to get their way. Go look on American Liberty Radio podcast. Go look under the definition of politician, or politics, or politician, or whatever it was that I put up there. Let me go give you the right information because that's what I want to do. Yeah, politics. The idioms of politics: play politics, to engage in political intrigue, take advantage of a political situation or issue, resort to partisan politics, etc., exploit a political system or political relationships to deal with people in an opportunistic, manipulative or devious way as for job advancement. There you go, period, end of sentence. I'm done. So anybody that says, well, we can agree to disagree, yeah, you're a communist. You must be a hardcore Democrat. You must be siding with the Democrats, with the Obamas and the Pelosi's and the Reids and all of that. Well, pack your crap and get the hell out of the country. By the way, pack up your Muslim buddies and get the hell out of the country as well. Somebody asked me that. Why do you want people to leave the country when they have freedom of speech? When they have... No. Hold on. Just, stop right there. And I tell them this all the time. Just, time out. Why are you so hell-bent in getting rid of peace, freedom, liberty, and security for this nation? Why are you so hell-bent on destroying this nation from within? When we've got enemies on the outside of this country trying to destroy this country from the outside. Why are you wanting to pull down America into a third world socialist nation? Look at Venezuela right now. They're pieces of crap at the moment. The story in the mainstream is they don't have any food, they don't have any gas, they're fighting with one another, they have a huge civil war going on. Why do you want that? Why do you want that for the United States of America? I'll tell you why. I will break this down in a 1 + 1 = 2 type of equation right now for you. Here's why. You've got far-left liberal Democrats who are closet communists who are outright destroying this nation for one reason and one reason only. And here it is. They want free stuff. They want to steal everything they can get their damn hands on, including your health care, your education, your commerce, your trade, everything. And they want to screw you by overcharging you for something that you want. Who came up with the concept of supply and demand? It was Democrats. Why? Because they knew and here's why. You look at most of the Democrats in Washington, D.C. right now. Most of them they have investments in companies that give them kickbacks. Oh, some Republicans are like that too, so I'm not leaving them out of this. That's why. That's why. They want to destroy this nation, take everything, and they want to overcharge us above probably anywhere between the 200 to 300% over market value of whatever it is you want. They want to create scarcity so you can pay more at the store. Guess what? Let me go here because I live in and near the Bakken, near the oil fields, just about 3 hours east of us here. or 4 hours east of us. And here's the thing. We have enough oil underneath our land right now under the United States of America to last us a couple of thousand years. But why are we depending upon foreign oil into this country? Because once you flood the market with all this oil and people are able to buy gas and afford gas at the pumps, I remember in 1975, and I remember my brother talking about this too, in 1975, gas in Stockton, California, down at the corner gas station where we used to get gas, was 57 cents a gallon. 57 cents a gallon. My brother graduated high school in 1975. By 1980, when I graduated high school, gas was $1.02. I remember that, or somewhere around there. It was over $1. I remember that. And people are going, what? It's over. Oh my God. What? When I left California in 2006 and moved back to Reno, Nevada, gas in California, right when I left, or a few months before I left, was over $4 a gallon in some areas. In Stockton, it was 3 something a gallon. Okay? Who controls the holding companies that control the companies that work with the oil companies? Look at who they are. I'm going to tell you straight up that most of them are Democrats, and some of them are foreign investors. But they're not investing to make money. They're investing to suppress the supply so that prices can rise so that you and I can go broke. And once all of that, what they don't understand is, economically, once all of that gets so high that you and I can't afford anything, it will eventually collapse the whole system. And they themselves will be flat broke, and they will have no other recourse but to file bankruptcy against their investments, which is the United States of America Incorporated. You don't get it? You don't understand it? Have I helped you assess this a little bit better? And, hold on to your short hairs. Have I overlooked anything? You let me know. Let me know. American Liberty Radio Network at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. There's so many things that we have to look at. There's so many things that we have to assess for our own personal environment, for our own personal, life, if you will. How would you like to pay $1 for a gallon of gas at the pump? How would you like to pay $1.25 for a gallon of gas at the pump? I would love that. It's like $2.35 here, or $2.39 or something like that, right down the street from where I'm at right now. I would love to pay less than $1 for a gallon of gas. But analysts have always said that in Europe it's $6 or $7 or $8 a gallon, and that's the way it should be worldwide. Why? Because the Democrats and their allies and their, nefarious characters of corruption have literally flooded the market with their nefarious little ideas in various areas, which then corrupts the system. In other words, let me break that down very simply. 1 + 1 = 2. Let me break that down very simply. These investors of the Democratic Party, in the Democratic Party, around the Democratic Party, invest in the demise of the United States of America. When everything collapses, give you a prime example, when everything collapses, they make $1 or a couple of million or a couple of $1 billion. They invest in the negative. They invest in what will go wrong not in what is going to go right. Okay, have I overlooked anything? Let me know. Basically, what they're doing is they're taking your tax dollars, they're giving it to these investors. They invest for the collapse of the economy. They make the billions and trillions of dollars worldwide, and you're left holding the empty bag because you'll have no money left to do anything with. Seriously. Folks, that's my assessment of it. Am I wrong? Have I overlooked something? It doesn't necessarily mean I'm wrong. It just means I've overlooked something. Then tell me, American Liberty Radio Network at American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. Please let me know if I've overlooked anything. That's all. That's all you got to do. Go to American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook. Drop a note there if you'd like, or even, again, best way to get a hold of me is email me at AmericanLibertyRadio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. Let me know. Let me know if I've overlooked anything. Okay. And let me know if there's anything additional you want to add to that. Okay. So anyway, tonight I'll be on with Nick Tucker on Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. We're going to talk about, are we living in a simulation? Yes, we're going to go that deep, right? A little philosophy, I would think, in that regard. But are we living in a simulation? So when the podcast is up, check it out. That would be distortedreality.podbean.com. And it'll be here tomorrow on American Liberty Radio Network on Spreaker.com, so keep your eye out for that one. So much stuff going on. So much stuff going on that we have to we have to take a step back and look at everything objectively, and we have to really put ourselves in that position where we're going to have to accept the hard things in life. We have to ask ourselves the hard questions. We have to look deeper into certain things. We even though we don't want to, and we don't want to upset the, we've got our flowers and our peace and our positive. I hear people all the time when I talk to them about that. I don't want to hear it because I don't want it ruining my day. This is their response to me when I tell them everything that I know. And guess what? It's already ruined your day. I don't want to look at it because I don't want it ruining my day. I don't want to hear it because I just don't want to. I don't want to. Operative word there is want. They don't desire to know the truth, the facts, or any of that because they don't care. They don't care. Bottom line, they don't care. I don't care how many people look at you and say, well, I care. And people have done that. Well, I care. Well, what are you doing about it? Well, I listen to the news on the TV and they don't talk about the stuff you talk about. That's because they're lying bastards. That's why. They're paid to lie to you. Okay. That's why it's called propaganda. Okay. They're lying to you straight up. So anyway. Folks, before I get on a rant and a tear and start yelling and screaming and jumping up and down and acting like some crazy fool, I want you to know that there are certain things that you can do to help out. You can sponsor the network if you'd like. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Go to the sponsors page. Also, drop $1 in the kitty at the Become a Patron or Patron, and we'll keep the lights on around here for you. So, folks, you guys are awesome. You guys freaking rock. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. This is American Liberty Radio Network on Spreaker.com. American Liberty Radio, sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.